So the next thing we want to look at is the system taskbar. And to access the system taskbar, we slide our mouse to the bottom of the screen and the taskbar should pop up for you. And you'll notice a bunch of icons on the bottom of the screen, and this is where we can control the rest of the functions of the DVR. So the first icon we see all the way to the left is the home icon. And under the home icon we have menu, playback, and shutdown. And menu will access the programming menu for the technicians when they set your DVR up or when they program it, when they set up all your configurations as far as recording and motion detection. The second option is playback, and we'll go over playback in a second. Playback is where we get to the playback menu to watch video playback and do all of our exporting. And the next one then is shutdown, and you can see there's a drop down under shutdown. We have log out, restart, or shutdown. So we can reboot the DVR, or we can log out of all of the menus, and the next time you come to the DVR you'll have to put that pattern back in again. So for right now we're going to move on. So the next icon we want to look at is the multi-window icon. And this icon gets you the same access to the changing the grid layout view as we did before by right clicking on the camera. It just provides you the same information by clicking on the icon in the taskbar. And if we have a single camera view, so if we just have one camera up and we have multiple cameras in the system, these next two icons or next two buttons will let you sequence between those cameras. This system doesn't have any other cameras on it, but if it did, you would sequence through cameras full screen one at a time. The next icon we want to look at is the sequence icon. And this sequence icon will start a sequence of each one of the cameras in full screen view one at a time every 3 seconds. The next quick icon is the playback, and the playback icon will take you into the playback menu where we can playback and export video. The next icon we want to look at is the camera info icon. This camera info icon just gives you basic information about the camera and the status of each camera and how it's operating. The next icon is the alarm status icon. If there's any alarms that have happened, such as a hard drive failure, or if the temperature is too high inside the DVR, or if a camera has lost video, anything of that nature will show up in this menu. The next icon is the network icon. Similar to a PC, this tells you that you're connected to the network and what IP address your DVR has been assigned. Next is the time and date icon. The time and date icon lets you see in real time what the time and date is, and if you click on that icon, you can make adjustments to the time and date, such as how you see it, what time zone you're in, and what time format you want to be displayed. The last icon is a lock. It's similar to a lock the taskbar on a PC. If I click the lock button, then it keeps this taskbar on the screen at all times. Now let's look at playback. Slide your mouse to the bottom of the screen in the taskbar and click on the playback icon. Now in this menu, we have all of the available cameras on the left-hand side. Below that, we have a calendar that's displaying the current day. To the right, we have in the main pane is the camera that's selected, and below that we have our time bar. And inside that time bar is where we'll select and view the playback of the video. The first thing we need to do is select the camera or cameras that we want to see in playback. For this example, I'm just going to choose one camera. Once we choose the camera that we want to see playback, you'll notice that the calendar changed to show us recorded video with a red icon in the upper right hand corner on specific days if there's recording from that camera on those days. And you can go back several months, you can go forward several months. By default, it chooses the current day as the day selected. If you wish to choose video from a different day, simply click on the day that you want to view video from. Once you have selected the video, the time bar now changes to show you events with dashes of recording that happened on the day you choose. From here we can choose a start time for playback from either 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. So let's choose a time sometime in the morning where we see some activity. and we click the play icon. This begins playing back video from the camera you selected at the time you selected, and it starts playing back video in real time. Now from here you have some simple controls such as speed up or slow down, fast forward and rewind. You can fast forward all the way up to 256x, which is super fast. You can also slow down to half speed, a quarter speed, and an eighth speed. This helps for fine details and in searching video. Once you've selected the playback time, you can adjust that time inside the time bar by simply just clicking on other times to advance to other events that's happened within inside the system. Sometimes this is fairly small to see, and if you wish to expand those events further, if your mouse has a wheel, simply hover over the time bar and roll forward with your mouse wheel, and that will expand the time to hours, half hours, and minutes. If you keep going, if your mouse doesn't have the wheel, you can choose the slider, 24-hour slider, and slide it back from how many hours you wish to see in the block on the time bar. So here we're just looking at an hour's time frame from 7:45 to 8:45. So we hover our mouse over where events have happened, and we click the icon, we can see playback. So next we're going to look at exporting. So you found the video, you've seen the playback, and now you wish to export that video and save it to a flash drive. So what we want to do is slide the time bar just before the event happened. Next we want to click the scissors or the clipping icon in the bottom left hand corner. This brings up the clipping dashes on the time bar. And from here you can left click and drag that clipping icon, the first one, to the approximate start time, and then grab the end time and select it till after the event. Generally we recommend 1 to 2 minutes before the event and 1 to 2 minutes after the event to make sure all the bases are covered. Once you've selected or clipped your selection, you want to click the scissors one more time, and that click says stop clipping. Once we've stopped clicking, your files will be compiled by the system and put in the files folder. Once they're ready to be exported, a red icon will indicate in the upper right hand corner of the file icon. You want to click on the file management icon, and this takes us to our file management window. And in the file management window, we'll show you all of the files that are associated with the time frame that you selected. So if you're ready to back these up to a USB flash drive, we just want to make sure we select all of the video files by clicking on the upper box. We'll select all the files, or you can click on them one individually at a time. Once you're ready to back up the files, you want to click on backup, and this is going to access the USB drive that's connected to your DVR. From here you can create a new folder. You can name it whatever you want. Click enter, and then click OK. Now once that new folder is created, you should see it. You want to double click on that folder, and now once we've double clicked on the folder, now we can click backup, and this will save our video that we selected to our flash drive in the folder that we just created. Once it's completed, click OK. Your file then should indicate in the window that it's been there. You can delete it from here if you want, or now it's ready to be taken out and put in the computer and played in most any modern computer. If we're all finished with playback and exporting, we can just cancel out of the windows, and in the bottom right hand corner we'll click exit, and this takes us back to our main live view screen. Thanks for watching. Remember to check back often for more product training videos and instructional videos on products and services that we offer.